Hey, what's up guys? We're back again, and today we're going to be talking about an artist that I actually previously covered that goes by the name either KillTJ or TJ Gloom. If you don't remember him from back in the day, he's a Canadian rapper who had a little bit of buzz in the very late SoundCloud scene. Basically, he would beef with all these Florida guys, leading a lot of people to believe that he was from Florida himself. One of his main claims to fame was being a big rival to Lil Slump at the time that he was popping off, but after Lil Slump kind of fell off, Lil TJ also disappeared, which is pretty sad to see because he actually had a pretty unique look, some decent music videos, and a not half bad sound, and he wasn't completely out of his mind like Lil Slump, so that also helped out. But unfortunately, with the SoundCloud wave falling off, many of these rappers who had a chance to make it to the big time lost that opportunity, and for a while, KillTJ just kind of faded away. All I really heard about him is that he was part of 999 Mob at one point, but he was living in Canada and they were all living in LA, so he wasn't really a primary member of that group. But surprisingly, after doing my infamous interview with Lil Slump, there was some interest in people for me to do one with KillTJ as well, which I did end up doing after getting in contact with him, and it was kind of weird to say the least. He was definitely very drunk when we did the interview, but he seemed like a nice guy nonetheless. But a lot of the comments under that interview were talking about just how bad of a guy he was, with a lot of claims floating around that he beats women, that he's a scammer, and much more, which at the time I mostly ignored because honestly I feel kind of bad for him. But unfortunately I have to stay consistent here because I went pretty hard at 83 Hades, and it wouldn't be fair to go soft on KillTJ just because I have somewhat of a connection with him. But unfortunately, just like many other in the underground, he has also got up to a little bit of scamming, and he actually ended up scamming one of my homies known as Soulbeck, which you might remember from that whole Incore video and situation. Now the only reason that I stayed at my connection with KillTJ is because I wanted to be open and honest about the fact that I have had connections with him in the past, but it also goes to show that even if you are homies with me, I am gonna have to do videos on you if you do scummy shit. I mean, it would be the same as Soulbeck ended up scamming somebody, it would be the same if King ended up scamming somebody, or even Leprosy. I mean, I'm never gonna stab my friends in the back, but if they end up scamming or doing some really dirty shit, I will have to cover it as well. That's just the arc of trying to be an unbiased source within the underground scene. I'm not gonna say I'm a news source, I do kind of like to cover the news, but if I say that I'm actually a reporter, that means that I'm gonna be held to standards that I don't want to hold myself to. But with all that said, let's get into it. It starts off with TJ saying, "Yo bro, anyway you can lend me 20 until Thursday. I have probation tomorrow and had to reschedule because I had no way today. I got 20, yeah bro, and what happened man? I always have probation but I forgot and I ain't got bread till Thursday gang. I go in every month. I'm done November 30th though if no other charges stick. But can you send PayPal fam? I remember you had probation and everything. I'm hoping you get off soon, but yeah, bro, what made you want to hit me up? Because I hit my one homie up, bro, and it's urgent. I knew you was a solid N-word. People weird. And I trust you." He then sends his PayPal. "Thank you for real, bro. We definitely gonna have to talk more, bro. I'm saying 20 though. I want to see you win for real, man. Of course." So yeah, TJ seems like he's really down bad right now. He doesn't have any money and he really needs help. And honestly, if I was in Soulbeck's situation, I'd probably do the same thing. After that, Soulbeck then ends up sending him a message basically saying, "Can we get a feature in?" And he responds by saying, "I'll do it for 80, you already sank 20, I can go to the studio when you get a full pay in a week and a half." He says, "Okay bro, that's fine, you gotta hear this new song I'm working on though." And honestly, I already think this is kind of scummy. You're begging him for money in your time of need, and he's like, "Okay, can you send me a song?" Which should be pretty easy, but then you're asking for more money. I've met these type of people before, and they're never appreciative of anything you do for them. You'll send them money in a time of need, and instead of being thankful for it, they'll then ask for more and more money, and once you stop giving them money, they get upset about it. There's a lot of entitlement right now in the underground scene as well as the world in general, and honestly I just don't think it's a good look to ask for more money. I know you're down bad and you really need it, but the dude already gave you 20 when you didn't have anything else, so I feel like giving him a free feature wouldn't be out of the question. Or you know, if you are going to charge him for a feature, maybe throw in a free one there as well. You know, go to the studio, record the one song, and then give him an open as well. But at the same time, I don't understand why an artist like KillTJ is even going to the studio in the first place. I'm also fairly certain that KillTJ told me that he doesn't even go to studios in my interview, so I think he's lying about that, and he records all of his music in his own home, which is what you should be doing as an artist nowadays. Anyways though, he then responds by saying, "Bet, I'm sorry I was with my mom, but yeah, send the 80 or even less. If I go tomorrow, my dad or uncle will help me out with the stew time if it's for music." And once again, I gotta say, why are you even going to the studio? If you don't have enough money to even be able to buy food, you shouldn't be paying $100 to go to the studio and record music. I mean, it's just not worth it. Buy a microphone for like $200, get your computer and make music that way. He then responds saying, yes, I got the bread, brother. When can you send it to me? He says right now, sends his PayPal. You want a verse or are you sending an open? He then responds saying, it's a beat I wanted you to hop on and send the vocals. I'm gonna get everything after you done, mixed and mastered. I got an open, but that one's whipped, so I'll send bread for you to hop on that beat. 40 okay? He then sends him $51, said sent you an email as well, got the email, then he video calls him. He said, bet, it's up bro, please send the stems as well. He then says, send cash tag 2, looking for a hard open right now so I can get those vocals from you for a beat. He says, I'm not at the crib right now, but I will do so when I get at the crib. Let me know when you're back. Did I send that, family? He says, yeah, that's okay, I trust him, don't send that yet, I want it to be good. Okay, no worries, just let me know. Did you end up finding an open to record on? November 8th, yo. November 19th, dude. He responds on November 19th saying, yo. He said, what's going on, fam? Just got to my new crib, I have a studio now, fam. Bet. That means we can get our song in now. But then he doesn't respond for another 8 days. After that, he says, same here, bro. He doesn't respond for another day. He says, happy birthday. He doesn't respond for another month. He says, what's up? He says, at work. And then after that, he stops responding altogether. Solbeck says, I help mother at their lowest point, and it's like okay for people to treat me like I'm dog shit. Yo, since he ain't gonna send shit back, can I get my bread back? I'm not trying to press this too hard, but you do owe me. You can't go around making excuses, bro. I ain't gonna be like the other motherfuckers and let people walk all over them. You out here talking about buying a cat when you still owe people open verses and bread. On top of that, you scammed me back in 2017 for that Kodak verse that you sent to like 6 other people. We were literally on the phone and you told me that you wouldn't do some shit like that to me again, yet you did. That's poor business. Now, honestly, I don't really know what they're talking about when they say the Kodak verse. I can only assume that somehow KillTJ ended up getting an old Kodak verse and ended up selling it to Soulback. But honestly, at this point, I've completely changed my opinion on selling old verses to other people. I thought it was kind of a cool thing to do to make it so very small artists in the underground could get features that maybe they could put out with bigger artists. But now that I understand it a little bit more, I know why artists get upset when they do stuff like this, because they don't know who's going to get on the song, they don't know if the beat's going to get changed, they don't know what's going to happen to their vocals, and a lot of times people won't even specify that it's a remix of another verse and they'll take it for themselves to try to promote themselves. And yes, I know I ended up getting on that song with Sos Mula, which was an old verse that we ended up getting from Big Hunty, but at the same time I only did that for fun and I wasn't trying to actually promote myself as a serious artist. But just to be 100% transparent, I was never in the studio with Sos Mula. Sorry to break the illusion. I know a lot of people saw us in the studio together drinking Hennessy and bitches, but unfortunately that was all photoshopped. But anyways, Solbeck then finishes off the conversation by saying begging me to help you, then begging me to buy a verse from you, and you don't send me the shit. I ain't mad about this part, it's just basic communication. You a grown-ass man, be responsible and show some integrity. And yeah, that pretty well sums it up. I know that a lot of people are going to feel bad for him. Me myself, I even somewhat feel bad for him, but at the same time, he is a grown man. He decided to put the tattoos on his face. He decided to go down this lifestyle choice. Nobody did this to him. Nobody's holding a gun to his head and forcing him to be a rapper. Honestly, he just fell victim to the whole SoundCloud wave, thinking that he could put some tattoos on his face and be popping, but unfortunately, just like many others, it didn't work out. But still, it's not a reason to scam people. If you say that you're going to send a feature, you actually have to do it. This was a couple years ago at this point. He never sent it through, and he still sells features to this day for like $100. So at the end of the day, he's really not that different from 83 Hades, just another rapper who fell off and now is scamming people for features. It's a really sad road to go down, and I hope that he can get better and maybe make the situation right. But it once again goes to show, if you want to be a rapper, take it more seriously. I mean, I know a lot of us look at Trippie Redd, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp and think, you know what, those guys had it all and it was so easy for them. But they wouldn't have got to the level that they did if it wasn't for the fact that they had at least a little bit of intelligence, although it also could have been circumstance. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen to everybody. So don't do a bunch of drugs, tattoo your face, and then try to be a rapper, because it might not work out and you might end up just like this. But hey, at the same time, I'm not telling you not to follow your dreams. Keep doing what you want to do. Keep making music. Just be smart about it. Don't get face tattoos before you're actually set financially. Don't do too many drugs and then start scamming people, ruin your whole life, go to jail. It's just common sense, but at the same time, just don't do it. Just make the music, man. Shout out to Solbeck for sharing this story with me. Hopefully you can get your feature from KillTJ and we can see that come out. But with that said, if you want to support me, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 10K. If I can get 10K people watching absolutely everything that I do, then I can actually support myself off this YouTube shit. And if you like this type of content and want to see longer versions of it, go check out my main channel, Twisted World. I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe there as well, because we're almost to 20K and we're pretty close. So yeah, guys, with that said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.